This is a part of my free embedded C course. You can find the whole course in my community. I will leave the link down below in the description. Alright, so in the last video I showed you how to compile a basic C program by using GCC. But actually, behind the scenes, the program itself goes through more stages. And so, before the C file gets turned into the executable, it goes through more processes before that. And so, here we have the C file. So, the first step that happens is that it gets preprocessed, meaning that the preprocessor will strip out the comments and will take care of the macros and the hash includes and so on. This process is called preprocessing. And after this process, the file will be turned into the preprocessed file, meaning the .i file. This is where the compiler takes place. It basically turns the preprocessed file into the assembly file. So it gets turned into the .s file, obviously, and then we have the assembler, which takes the assembly file and converts it into the object file. An object file basically contains the machine code as well as the symbols, which basically represent how exactly to store the data and where should it store it. So basically the result will be a .o object. And then we follow this process with all the source file that we have in our project, like this and so on. And then we have to link those objects together, right? Build that executable. So we link them together and the result is the executable. So let me show you the practical stuff right now. So I have over here the main file. So I'll open command in this path. Let me make the text bigger. Alright, so I'll open the main file with vim main.c, and this is the content. And let me show you how does the preprocessor work. The preprocessor, as I said, will take out the comments and will take care of the include. The stdio.h, as I have already explained in other videos, contains the declarations of the functions, meaning the prototypes. And basically, the preprocessor will find those functions inside the library that we're using and will paste them as they is in the main file. So let me show you. I'll get out of this Vim text editor and I'll write gcc main.c, and this is what we want to do. We don't want to generate an executable at once. We want to generate only the preprocessed file, meaning the .i file. So I'll write -e and then -o, meaning that we want a custom name for our preprocessed file. So let's say preproc.i. Now I'll open the preproc.i with Notepad, and this is how it looks like. It basically includes the paths for the header files, and these are the functions from stdio. For instance, debug. No, actually, this doesn't have anything to do with the stdio, but this is basically the std. These are basically the functions from stdio. For instance, GNU scanf and so on. Let me go to the end of the file, and here you can find the main function. And as you can see, the comments were removed as well. So that's basically it. Now I close it, and let's go to the next step, which is converting it to an assembly file. So let's go through this. So I'll say gcc main.c, and this is how you stop the compiler until it generates the assembly file. You write dash capital S and then the -o, let's say assembly.s. Let's open the assembly file. And this is basically it. I won't go into details because it doesn't matter for now, but as you can see, it is transformed into the assembly file. Here you can find the main.c, and here the text, macros, and so on. Now I'll close it. Let's go to the next step, which is the object file. So this is how you do it. No, actually here. So I'll say gcc main.c, and this is the command for stopping the compiler at the object stage. So I'll write -o, no, actually -c, and then the name of the object file, for instance, -o object file.o, and let's open up object file.o to see how it looks like. Obviously the object.o just contains the binary data and some symbols, as I told you before. So I open it, and this is how it looks like. Obviously these are the memory sections, which basically define where exactly to store the data, but for now I won't go into details. I'll explain this way better in another video. So that's how it looks like, basically. And now the last step is basically to link all the object files that we have in our project and to generate the executable. And so let's create another source file, compile it, and then link the object files. So I'll go again to my folder in projects, and I'll open the terminal over here. And let's create vim source.c, and actually let's make it bigger, like this, and I'll say include stdio.h because we'll print something, it doesn't matter, but we still need it, and include source.c because the main file will include it as well. And then let's write a function, for instance, void custom print void and then let's print something on the terminal, for instance, just a count variable for int I equal 0i less than 10 I plus plus, printf count is mod I, and let's save it. So I'll run column wq, and let's create a source a header file as well. So I write source.h, and basically here I'll only write the prototype of the function, void custom print void, and that's basically it. Alright, let me see again the content on the source file.c. Yep, everything is all right. Now let's compile both of the files until the object state and link them together in order to create the executable. And actually I forgot something, I have to call the custom print in main.c just to show you that it works. So I write here include source.h, and I write here custom print. Oh, actually without the void, my bad. Let's close it, and let's compile both of the source file. So I'll say gcc main.c -c because I want to stop at the object state, and then -o, and let's choose a name main obj.o, and let's do that. Let's do the same for the source.c -c -o, and source object.o source. Let me open the source.c. Oh, this is the problem. Yeah, I'll open in Vim. Generally, when you're including files, there's a difference between including the header file between quotes and brackets, and so you have to write it like with quotes because it is a user-defined header file. It's not a standard one. So obviously this was the error, so I'll do that again. And now we will need to link those objects together, and this is how you link it. It's very simple. Just write the name of the object, so source object dot c, as well as the main object dot c, and then dash o, and then the name of the executable, for instance, object linked. By the way, this linkage between the object files is done with the linker, and that's basically what is the linker doing. The linker is basically combining these objects together. So press enter. Oh, my bad. Source object dot o, because they are object files. Alright, now let's run the executable. So objects linked. Let's enter my name, John, for instance, and as you can see, it is printing the count variables. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you later.